Here's why your ex is giving you mixed signals at the time of the break. It's really confusing when somebody breaks up with you and you can see tears in their eyes and they're sad and they feel somewhat unsure. Like when you're probing them for, are they really going to do this? Are they really sure about this? And you can feel that little hesitation, that little uncertainty in there. But they keep backing up their decision. They keep saying, no, we have to do this. I need to work on myself. You deserve better, blah, blah, blah. It's super confusing because you're getting mixed signals about your entire future. How could someone both be sure and unsure about a breakup, something as serious as a breakup? How can they both be sure and unsure at the same time? I'll tell you exactly why. For somebody that doesn't have communication skills and doesn't know how to speak what they feel or even understand what they feel or expect that they could vocalize it to you and have you receive it, and maybe you've done nothing to make them think that you wouldn't communicate with them. But for somebody that does this, they avoid conflict. And by avoiding conflict, all the problems build up in the relationship over time. So what happens for a person like this is that they end up losing themselves, in other words. This is the best way they can describe how they feel. And it comes from avoiding conflict throughout the entire relationship. They make all these little minute self-sacrifices, and you don't even know that you're not doing what they want to do in the relationship, or that they're sacrificing themselves in one way or another. And a lot of times people that do this are spread so thin that it almost feels like they're not sacrificing anything for you, but on the inside they're just like pulled in 20 different directions. And so all this comes to a head where it all builds up to the point where they can't sustain anymore. And of course you can. You've got to live your life the way that you want to. You can't just do what everyone else wants to do the whole time. But for someone that has low emotional bandwidth and low processing power for conflict and dealing with big feelings because they were neglected in childhood, they can't keep up with it all. And eventually it all comes to a head. And this is where they want to break up with you. But notice how this is a coping decision, not a thriving decision. There's a difference. When you're thriving, there's no need to cope. Everything's perfect. Everything's in balance. Everything's in harmony. But when you're coping, you're just hanging on by a thread. And so when you break up with somebody because of stress, because you don't communicate, you are making a coping decision. You're just doing what you have to do. That's why they're uncertain, because they actually love you. And you can't fathom it, because why the fuck would you break up with somebody that you love? Well, that's why. It's because it's a coping decision, because they don't communicate and they're stressed out, and here you are. Now, you can imagine how, if I understand all this about your breakup, how much more I might understand about how to get them back. And I do. I can tell you exactly how to get them back. If you want to know, click into my profile, click this link, set up a call with me. Talk to you soon, and I'll give you a step-by-step plan to get your ex back.